Hello everybody, my name is Jarinya Wangprasopklang. I am studying in Nakhon Ratchapat University. Now, I will present a summary of Around the World in 80 Days.
Around the World in 80 Days is an adventure novel of Jules Verne. Come to make known with the characters. Phileas Fogg. He is a weighty gentleman who enjoys the simple life. He just likes to read newspapers and preachers. But one day, the members of his club and him start talking about traveling around the world. He made a bet that he could travel around the world in 80 days. It's going to be difficult, but he knows that he can do it. His servant Passepartout and him are going to have an interesting trip. Since Passepartout, he came to England for the simple life. In the past, he has all kinds of exciting jobs, but now he wants an easy life as a butler. Phileas Fogg just hanged him. Mr. Fig, he is a police detective for Scotland Yard. Someone just robbed a bank, and he's going to catch that person. The thief looks just like Phileas Fogg. He knows that Fogg did it. He's going to follow Fogg and catch him, even if he has to travel around the world to do it. Alvida, she grew up in Europe, but she was forced to marry an old Russian in India, even though she didn't love him. Now that the Russian has died, the blacksmiths are going to burn her alive with his dead body. She don't want to die, but who can possibly save her? Fox's friends. They are Fox's best partner. Fox usually a very sensible man, but he actually thinks that he can travel around the world in only 80 days. They don't think he can do it, so they bet him £20,000. The summary of Around the World in 80 Days story. The story starts in London on October the 1st, 1872. Phileas Fogg is a lead English gentleman and bachelor living in solitude at number 7, Savile Barrington Garden. Despite his wealth is £40,000. Mr. Fogg's good countenance is described as report in action. Lives modern life with habit carried out with mathematical precision. Very little can be said about Mr. Fogg's social life other than that he is a member of the Reform Club. Having dismissed his former valet, James Porter, for bringing him shaving water at 84 Fahrenheit instead of 86 Fahrenheit. Mr. Fogg had a friend man by the name of James Passepartout, who is about 30 years old, at a replacement. Later on that day, in the Reform Club, Fogg gets involved in an agreement over an article in the Daily Telegraph stating that with the opening of a new railway station in India, it is now possible to travel around the world in 80 days. He accepts a wager for £20,000 from his fellow club members, which he will receive if he makes it around the world in 80 days. Accompanied by Monsieur Passepartout, he leaves London by train at 8:45 p.m. on October the 2nd, 1872, and it is due back at the Reform Club at the same time 80 days later, on December the 21st. Fogg and Passepartout listen in town. While disembarking in Egypt, they are worked by a Scotland Yard detective named Fig, who has been dispatched from London in search of the bank robber. Because Fogg happened to answer the description of the bank robber, Fig mistakes Frog for the criminal. Since he cannot secure our land in time, Fig got on board the steamer conveying the traveler to Bombay. During the voyage, Fig became acquainted with Passepartout without revealing his purpose. On the voyage, Fog promised the engineer a large reward if he get them to Bombay early. They docked 2 days ahead of schedule. After reaching India, they take a train from Bombay to Calcutta. About halfway there, Frog learned that the daily telegraph newspaper article was wrong. The railroad aimed at Cambrai and started again 50 miles further on at Allahabad. Frog promptly buy an elephant hair guide and start towards Allahabad. During the night, they come across a procession in which a young Indian woman, Avuda. It led to a century to be sacrificed by the process of Suti the next day, dry brass means. Since the young woman is drugged with the smoke of opium and hemp, and is obviously not going voluntarily, the travelers decide to rescue her. They follow the procession to the site, where Passepartout secretly takes the pick of Avuda's deceased husband on the funeral pillar, on which she is to be burned the next morning. During the ceremony, he then leaves from the pillar, declaring of the priest, and carry the young woman away. Due to this incident, the 2 days gained earlier are lost, but Frog shows no sign of regret. The traveler then hastened on to catch the train at the next railway station, taking Avuda with them. At Calcutta, they can finally board a steamer going to Hong Kong. Fig, who had secretly been following them, had Frog and Passepartout arrested in Calcutta. However, they jump board and Fig is forced to follow them to Hong Kong. On board, he showed himself to Passepartout, who is delighted to meet again his traveling companion from the earlier voyage. In Hong Kong, it turned out that Avuda's distant relative, in which they has been planning to leave her, has moved, probably to Holland, so they decide to take her with them to Europe. Meanwhile, still without a warrant, Fig sees Hong Kong and his last chance to arrest Frog on British soil. Around this time, Passepartout becomes convinced that Fig is a spy from the Reform Club, trying to see if Frog is really going around the world. However, Fig confides in Passepartout, who does not believe a word and remains convinced that his master is not a bank robber. To prevent Passepartout from informing his master about the premature departure of the next vessel, Fig gets Passepartout drunk and drags him in an opium den. In his distress, Passepartout still managed to catch the steamer to Yokohama, but neglects to inform Frog. Frog on the next day discovered that he has missed his connection. He got in search of a vessel that will take him to Yokohama. He found a pilot boat that takes him and Avuda to Shanghai, where they catch a steamer to Yokohama. In Yokohama, they go on a search for Passepartout, believing that he may have arrived there on the original boat. They find him in a circle, trying to earn the fare for his homeward journey. Leonid, the first bird, a steamer taking them across the Pacific to San Francisco. Fig promised Passepartout that now, having left British soil, he will no longer try to delay Frog's journey, but later support him in getting back to Britain as fast as possible to minimize the amount of his share of the stolen money that Frog can spend. In San Francisco, They get on a Trans-American train to New York, encountering a number of obstacles along the way. A massive herd of bison crossing the tracks, a foreign suspension bridge, and more disastrously. The train is attacked and overcome by COX rarely. After heroically uncovering the locomotive from the curliest, Passepartout is kidnapped by the Indians, but Fort rescues him after some American soldiers volunteer to help. They continue by a wind-powered sled over the snowy Parlier to Omaha, where they get a train to New York. Once in New York, and having missed departure of that ship to China by 45 minutes, Fox starts looking for an alternative for the crossing of the Atlantic Ocean. He finds a small steamboat destined for border. However, the captain of the boat refuses to take the company to Liverpool, where offers for consent to be taken to border for the price of £2,000 per passenger. On the voyage, he bribed the crew to mutiny and take course for Liverpool against hurricane wind going on full steam all the time. The boat lands out of fuel after a few days. Fox buys the boat at a very high price from the captain, shooting him thereby, and has the crew burn all the wooden parts of keep up the steam. The companions arrive at Queenstown Island in time to reach London with Dublin and Liverpool before the deadline. However, once on British soil again, Fix produced a warrant and arrest Fox. A short time later, the misunderstanding in clear up the actual bank robber had been caught 3 days earlier in Edinburgh. In response to this, Fox, in a rare moment of impulse, punched Fix, who immediately fell to the ground. However, Fox has missed the train and returned to London 5 minutes late, assured that he has lost the wager. In his London house the next day, he apologized to Oda for bringing her with him, since he now has to live in poverty and cannot financially support her. Oda suddenly confessed that she loved him and asked him to marry her, which he gladly accepts. He calls for Passepartout to notify the Liberals. At the Liberals, Passepartout learned that he is mistaken in the death, which he takes to be Sunday, but which actually is Saturday because the party travels is, thereby gaining a full day on their journey allowed to go by crossing the international deadline. He did not notice this after landing in North America, because the only phase of the trip that, depending on vehicle, departing less often than dryly was the Atlantic crossing, and he had his one ship for that. Passepartout hurried back to Fox, who immediately set off for the Reform Club, where he arrived just in time to win the wager. Fox married Oda, and the journey around the world is complete. Passepartout and Fox carry only a carpet bag, with only 2 shirts and 3 pairs of stocking eggs, a mackintosh, a traveling cloth, and a spare pair of shoes. The only book they carry is British Continental Railway Steam Transit and General Guide. This contains timetables of trains and steamers. He also carried a huge load of English banknotes about £20,000. He also left with 20 guineas, one at which, of which he soon disposed.